I didn't believe it until I saw it. 2 suns. I thought it was some kind of internet hoax type deal, but with all that smoke out there, you can see all the 2 suns reflecting. I don't know if that has something to do with the refraction of the ozone layer or what. I don't know what it means, but tell me what it is. It's unusual.
Oh my god, what is happening, guys? Do you see this? There's 2 suns. What is this?
It's really 2 suns, Jen.
Oh my god. Wait. What is happening? Wait, why are there 2 suns? I'm so confused. Dude, it's 2 suns, I promise you. Oh my god, what is happening, guys? Do you see this?
Let us go ahead and jump right into today's horror-filled video, because many people have been asking a very unusual question, and that question is, do we have 2 suns in the sky? And well, the answer to that is yes, no, maybe. So as of very recent, and it seems like after the April 8th, 2024 solar eclipse, there has been a surge of interest when it comes to our sun. There are people, including myself, that have noticed that something is just not right about our sun. Matter of fact, I have created a video just recently talking about just that the sun is not what we remember. But that video had more to do with the color and the brightness of the sun changing. It's as if somebody took out our yellow sun and replaced it with a bright white light bulb. Now, of course, nobody can take out the sun and replace it with something more artificial, but they can indeed block out the sun with something artificial. And I did show in that previous video how there are multiple patents for doing just that, creating an artificial sun to block out our natural sunlight. These patents go all the way back to 1966, and you can see the design of some of these technologies. Some of these technologies having a honeycomb type shape. So this is not something that is a conspiracy theory. This is something that was drawn up with blueprints and given to NASA. But this video has less to do with people seeing this bright white sun and more to do with people seeing and recording this second sun. It has gotten to a point that media had to step in and put a stop to it. And we all know who the media is controlled and owned by. But listen to this article from IFL Science. The incredibly stupid conspiracy theory that the solar system has 2 suns. Now, this article was created on April 29th, 2024. So like I said, more and more people are noticing that something is off about the sun ever since the solar eclipse. But as I have researched this, I have noticed that people have noticed that something was off about the sun going back to 2023, 2022, 2021, and so forth. More and more people are just now noticing because I guess something happened during the solar eclipse, which now makes this much more noticeable. But just listen to how condescending and angry this article happens to be. Another day, another incredibly stupid conspiracy theory resurfaces on the internet. According to various, for want of a better word, numbskulls, the solar system has a second sun, hiding behind our real sun. Now, people have stated that the evidence for this second sun comes into the form of a haze of light sometimes seen around the sun, but in reality, these are the result of atmospheric phenomena known as sun halos. But the problem happens to be not just sun halos, but people, the public, have actually been recording this second sun. In 2016, an astronomer, Paul Cox, was live streaming a transit of Mercury across the sun when an orb appeared across the screen. Now, of course, they had an answer ready for this orb, and the answer was that this was likely an optical error. Paul Cox would also open a can of worms by stating, you may be asking yourself, what is that large round thing to the right of the sun? Well, that's our second sun. I don't know if you knew that we had a second sun, but there it is. It is normally hidden from view. NASA and other organizations usually hide that stuff away from us.
I am going to welcome a new guest to the show. We're going to have live views again. We've got I have just heard that we have now lost Dubai. You saw Dubai get darker and darker, and that was just the sun setting. Here we are with the live views from the solar telescope just behind me. It's what SLU members are going to watch every single day from now on. And you can see there, the sun is on the left. You can see the small black dot, which is just to the right of center of the sun. That is the tiny orb of Mercury. Mercury, you now know so many interesting and fascinating facts from SLU astronomer Bob Berman. You'll be able to tell all your friends. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is that large round thing to the right of the sun? Well, that's our second sun. I don't know if you knew that we had a second sun, but there it is. It's normally hidden from view. NASA and other organizations, they usually hide that stuff away from us. They don't tell us the truth, but there it is. It's true. Anyway, I want to welcome our next guest.
This article states that this was only a dry joke, but this comment and this sighting of this orb convinced many people that we do indeed have a second sun. While this article states that this is just a dry joke coming from Paul Cox, from what I researched, Paul Cox is a very well-respected astronomer, and in his field, in his profession, one would not simply make a joke like that. This is something that would be taken very seriously. What is also very interesting is that during that same Transit of Mercury video, Cox also alluded to the Planet X theory, which is Nibiru, which says that a broken planet will come from behind the sun and will eventually crash into Earth and wipe out humans. What it sounds like to me looking at his video, it doesn't sound like a person that's joking, but a person that's actually captured something and possibly captured something multiple times, and he's fed up and tired of the lies coming from NASA. But that begs the question, why would NASA not want to tell us about this second sun? Why would they hide information? And are they using this artificial sun, this artificial light, to block what's really happening near the sun and the appearance of the second sun? I took a couple photos this morning of this bright white light that's supposed to be our sun. I noticed, and a couple of you have noticed as well, that this bright white light is bigger, a lot bigger, than what our sun used to be. So it's very plausible they made this bright white light much bigger than the sun to make sure that we don't see something that's taking place. And this gives a whole new meaning to when Bill Gates said he wanted to block out the sun. But again, this begs the question, what is up there? What is happening that the powers that be do not want us to see? And does this all fall in line with billionaires building these underground bunkers? Well, there is one theory that could answer everything, and that theory is the Nemesis theory. The Nemesis theory, sometimes called the two suns theory or the second sun theory, refers to a theoretical second sun in our solar system, a dwarf star named after the Greek goddess of vengeance. In the English vocabulary, the word nemesis has also come to mean downfall or ruin. It could also mean enemy as well. Now, according to one theory, Nemesis will indeed bring about our ruin one day by setting in motion an extinction event that will wipe us off the face of the earth. Proponents of the Nemesis theory say it has indeed happened before. In fact, every 26 to 28 million years, the earth has a little problem. Some horrible and mysterious catastrophe brings about mass extinction, destroying a large percentage of life on the planet and altering the balance of nature. This article continues to state that it has happened before with the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. It's happened since. In fact, it's happened reliably about every 26 to 28 million years. The question is not if the Earth will see another cataclysmic extinction, but when. The pattern of destruction baffled paleontologists until science began to consider causes that are not of this world. Astronomers arrived at a theory that says our sun has an evil little brother called Nemesis, who orbits at a great distance. So it looks like, based upon this article, it's not just astronomer Paul Cox that believes NASA is indeed hiding information when it comes to this second sun. Every 26 to 28 million years, the orbit of Nemesis brings it through the Oort cloud, a mass of comets and debris out on the far reaches of space. Nemesis disrupts the comets, sending them hurling toward the inner planets in a rain of destruction that can last decades. Comets smash into Earth and cause these mass extinctions at a regular and predictable rate. Now, again, this theory does go hand in hand with these billionaires building these underground bunkers. There could be multiple reasons why they're building these bunkers, but again, you never know. So here's the thing, if there was indeed a giant second sun, we would notice it. We would notice it all the time. It wouldn't just be sometimes on a TikTok or YouTube video or on a astronomer's video. We would see it all the time. Or would we? Now, officially, and when I say officially, I mean quote unquote officially, nobody has ever seen Nemesis, nor has it been located using current technology. Theoretically, this is because Nemesis is a red or brown dwarf, a star with very little brilliance, which explains why it's so hard to detect. The idea of a second sun also is not as far out or bizarre as it sounds. And in fairly recent research, some researchers discovered evidence that suggests suns may generally be born in pairs, and this is what helped bring the Nemesis theory back into the limelight. But it's also stated that even if Nemesis does exist, it's not due back for many of millions of years. But at the end of the day, who really knows the truth? Who really knows what's really going on with the sun? Because as I stated, it is apparent something is indeed going on. Because this giant white light that's appearing in the skies is definitely not our sun. If something is indeed changing and happening with the sun, where it's changing colors and changing brightness, or this is indeed something artificial, more than likely, once again, we will never know the truth. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.